We have got some squirrel science, Yolo, but first of all, let's go back to those red squirrels on Brownsea Island. Just take a look at them, because we've caught some great footage on our remote cameras. There are over 250 individuals on the island, and that's given us a great opportunity to film them and get to know them a little bit better. And we've been watching them gathering food. This is what you'd expect them to do in the winter, to not only eat whatever they can find, but to take it away, to cache it, to store it. So they've got plenty of food throughout the winter. And obviously on Brownsea Island, fantastic habitat, plenty of food for them to find. They're opportunistic feeders, they're omnivores, so they eat plant matter and things like insects, bird eggs, and we've got a variety of the seeds and nuts that they would eat as well. All sorts of things like, yeah, there's pine cones, chestnut, rose, all sorts of things. But what you won't see here, do you like my little store, by the way?
No, I just think if I was a squirrel, I'm not coming to your restaurant.
Yes, actually, there's not that much there, isn't there?
Frankly.
But do you know what is missing? Acorns, and that's because red squirrels don't eat acorns, but this is what's really interesting, grey squirrels do.
Yeah, there's a difference in the diet there, but there are differences between the two species, and these differences can explain why the greys have been so successful at pushing the reds out. But let's think about what they eat, and as Michaela mentions, they do eat those acorns. As well as that, they will eat different things in different places on the tree. The grey squirrels are much larger, much more robust, spend more time on the ground. We know that they're more fecund, they will reproduce more successfully, but of course one of the key things is that they carry the squirrel pox virus, which they are more resistant to and the reds are not, and that's led to a decline. And that's why we try to keep the greys separate from the reds when it comes to our conservation efforts. But could it be that there are other factors involved when it comes to these two species which gives the grey an advantage? Well, scientists have been taking a look at the gut microbiome of both species. So here we've got a cutaway drawing of a squirrel, and we can take a look inside. Here is its brain, for some reason connected to its tail. I can't explain that one, let's move swiftly on. Here is its alimentary tract going down into its stomach here. Now, firstly, a microbiome, that's a fauna of bacteria. We have them, of course, and the squirrels equally have them. Really important to us for maintaining our health. They break down some of the food, they make the nutrients more accessible to us, and in return, of course, that fauna of bacteria gets some energy and somewhere to live. And here's an interesting fact. There could be more bacteria living in your gut than you've got cells in your body. Incredibly important. But getting back to the squirrels, what they found when they looked at the red squirrels is that their microbiome was less diverse than the grey squirrels. So could that mean that they're less able to access nutrients than those greys? Another difference they found when they looked at that, when they looked at the greys, was that they had a type of bacteria living in their gut which can degrade oxalate. And oxalate is really important because it allows the squirrels to access calcium when they most need it, when they're lactating, when they're feeding their young. And they do that by eating bark. So basically, what you see here is these squirrels nibbling away at the bark. This is something that red squirrels can't do. And if they're tending their young, it's giving them access to calcium that otherwise they may not be able to get in a gut flora which is already more diverse than the reds. So aside from all of those other differences, the fact that it's a larger animal, it's more robust, it's more fecund, it carries this terrible disease, it could be that the grey squirrels have an internal biological advantage because they are able to eat bark at certain times of the year.
That is so interesting, isn't it? And do you know, I mean, what I find so interesting is we're finding out for us as well how important gut bacteria is. And it seems that that could be why we're losing the reds and the greys are taking over.
So many factors. There's never a sort of what you call a sort of a magic bullet in these situations. And that's why when it comes to conserving these animals, looking after them, it's not always easy.